Yes, so what happened was that three minority MPs, led by the minority leader Haruna Idrisu himself, and the minority chief whip Alhaji Mutaka Mubarak, and the ranking member on the finance committee, Dr. Keselato Fosun, filed a private member's motion calling for a bipartisan committee to be chaired by a member of the minority to inquire into how COVID-19 funds were used since the outbreak of the disease in 2020. This motion was filed last year and it was admitted by the Speaker. And on daily basis, it was advertised in the other paper that it would be taken, but it has never been taken since last year. By yesterday, it was moved. The Speaker allowed the motion to be moved. And just after the motion was moved, the Speaker left the chair and the first Deputy Speaker took over. By that time, the minority had raised some preliminary objection to the motion. So the Deputy Majority Leader, Alex Afonyo-Macken, said the motion is incompetent and that motion should not be admitted. And that what the three minority MPs are calling for is already catered for by the Constitution, and that is the duty of the Auditor General, and that the Auditor General should be allowed to audit the accounts of the ministries and departments and agencies, and there was no need for any committee from Parliament to do that. And that position was upheld by the first Deputy Speaker, Joseph Osei-Osu, and for which reason he dismissed the motion. So today, when the Speaker came, he felt that it was wrong for the first Deputy Speaker to take such a decision because he was a Speaker and he admitted the motion that the admissibility of motions rests with the Speaker. And when the Speaker had admitted the motion, the first Speaker should not have overruled his decision, and he was not very happy with it. And he made reference to a similar thing that happened the previous time when the Speaker was in the chair and the budget was rejected by the minority. The Speaker left, first the Speaker came, and they overturned that decision. And he felt that he is not being respected by the first Deputy Speaker in that regard. So that was why he made some complaints about it this morning.
Okay, so Bubu, can you tell us if the Speaker declined to attend the first Deputy Speaker's ruling?
Yes, he said that even though he was not happy with that decision, he's not going to overturn it because that is exactly what he's complaining about. He says that it is not proper that if a Speaker is in the chair and takes a decision, a Deputy Speaker should come overturn it. And the same way, if a further Speaker is in the chair and takes a decision, it is not proper for him, the Speaker, to overturn it. And so he was not going to overturn it, but he wants to register his displeasure that it is not a proper thing to do. And he feels that if a Speaker takes a decision and members are not happy, there is a procedure to follow to challenge the decision of the Speaker, and that is by a motion, a substantive motion, and that he advised the minority that if they are not happy with what happened yesterday, they should follow the procedure, file a motion, a substantive motion, and if the motion is admitted by the Speaker, it will be debated, and whatever has to be done, if the decision will be changed, then it will be a decision by the House. And that is what he's advising the minority to do, that they should go and file a motion if they so wish, so that the whole House will have the opportunity to debate the motion and take a decision on it.
All right. The absence of the MP for Dom Kwabena in the House, Ms. Sarah Adwoa-Safo, has generated discussions. So what are the lawmakers saying about the absence and the impact of government business?
Yes, so you know that this particular parliament is hanged because both sides have equal numbers in the House. The NDC 137, the majority 137, with one independent candidate who sided with the majority. But these days it's become difficult to take a decision because of the close nature of the numbers. The minority MPs in the House are almost always in full. The majority do not have the right number because some of them are ministers and they have to go for ministerial appointed duties, and so it's affecting decision in the House. And so the majority always wants all the members to be present. However, the MP for Dom Kwabena, Sarah Adwoa-Safo, has been outside the country for so many weeks, and her absence is affecting the majority when they have to take a decision. Because even in the absence of the Adwoa-Safo, if all the other majority MPs, the 137 are in the House, and because it's the same number as the minority, the law says that if there is a vote and the votes are equal, it is a loss. And so anytime they want to take a decision, it's difficult. So they always want Adjo Safo to come. However, because she's not coming, the MPs are now complaining. The majority MPs are now complaining because they feel that she's holding the whole government and party to ransom. And because they have made appeals to her on several occasions to calm down, she is not coming. And now what is happening is that some of them want to trigger some constitutional provisions. You know that the law says if you're MP and you absent yourself from sitting for 15 days without written permission from the Speaker, your seat can be declared vacant. And so some of the MPs from the majority side have talked about that, trying to trigger that process so that Adjo Safo's seat can be declared vacant to pave way for a by-election for electing a new member to represent the people of Dome Kwabenya in the House. But the MP must first refer to the disciplinary, the Privileges Committee of the House, and Employee Committee will have to sit and hear from her. If she's not able to offer a reasonable explanation as to why she's been absent, it is then that a decision can be taken to recommend to the Speaker to declare her seat vacant. But for now, no official complaint has been made on the floor yet. It remains a talk among the MPs outside the chamber.
Okay, Bobo, before you go, we know that the Communications Committee of Parliament is expected to meet with the Director General of the National Identification Authority, Professor Ken Atefua, to answer questions about the ongoing Ghana card registration exercise. Has this happened yet?
Yes,
if it has, what was the outcome?
Yet, but to put it in right perspective, the NIA officials are not meeting just the Communication Committee. They are meeting the whole House. They meet, and we call it the Committee of the Whole. And it's going to be a closed-door meeting. According to order, it is been scheduled for 2 o'clock today, but it has not. The House is still in session. So any moment from now, the House will break, and then they will usher in the officials from the NIA to go into that closed-door discussions. And it is not open to the media and to the public, but we hope that after the meeting, they will be able to brief us as to whatever transpired in that meeting.
People, thank you very much for the update.